Print on demand is a fantastic way to make money from home, launch your own business, build your own empire, make it rain. However, I think a lot of people think that it's going to be an overnight success. And while that is possible, a really big way to ensure that you're going to have success with print on demand is being able to spot and act on different trends. And so today I'm gonna walk you through a completely free method to find different trends so that way you can bake those trends into your print on demand shop. If you're new here, my name is Megan. I've launched my own six-figure print on demand business, and now I make some content showing you how to do that. I also still run my print on demand business, and I'm peeling back the curtain to exactly how I find and spot different trends and do my own research. A big part of what I believe in is free tools that exist. I think it's awesome to go out, take a course, and learn. However, I was able to find my little pocket of success all without needing to pay $1 in education, and I got all of it online. And so I think it's possible to do that yourself as well. And so today I'm gonna walk you through one of my favorite tools that is completely free so that way you can utilize it as well to get your own print on demand business going or use it to grow your print on demand business. In previous videos, I've talked a little bit about other tools. Another one that I really like to utilize is Google Trends. Google Trends, you can go in and you can kind of search different terms to see how they've trended over the last couple of years, as well as understand what's trending now. So that's a really great tool to kind of understand exactly what's popular across the United States at one time. It is very broad, and at this time of year, a lot of what it is sports, which is a completely untapped vertical for the amount of people that are interested in sports. So if sports is your thing, utilize Google Trends. That's all that's popping in there right now. It's football season. I've also utilized a paid tool. So Everbee is a software plugin that allows you to kind of go into Etsy and see what's popular. I've had most of my success on Etsy, but you can still utilize those learnings and trends to like launch into your own Shopify or launch into TikTok Shop. So I've utilized that software to kind of understand what is selling now and what types of keywords are folks utilizing to capture that traffic and convert it into sales. There is a free plan, but you only get a limited amount of searches with that. So you exhaust that pretty quickly. If you're like me, you can upgrade from the hobby plan to the paid plan. It's about $30 per month. If you get going or are serious about print on demand, that is one that I recommend. I will link them in the description below. This is not sponsored. So you can kind of test and see if that's something that you want to play around with. But those are two tools, free/not free, that I would recommend utilizing. The tool I'm going to be talking about today is Pinterest Trends. Pinterest is a company based here in the United States. A lot of what I'll be talking about today is related to the United States, but it is a company located here in the Bay Area. That's where I'm located. That basically is an idea board where brands can advertise, but people just go on to create and do inspiration. You can have recipes and save them on there. It is an awesome marketing tool as well. I believe that Money with Mac, another YouTuber on here, that's how she actually got launched with a lot of her success, was a Pinterest pin that went viral. And so it's an area that we can definitely explore in a future video about how to utilize pins to get good traffic and get almost free traffic if you catch the right wave at the right time. But it's also a great tool that just by having a business account on there, you get access to this feature called Pinterest Trends, and it allows you to do some trend research on what is popular on the platform, which is already a place people go for gifting inspiration, party theming, all types of different ideas that they have in their head that they're basically building into their own little digital mood board. So it's a great place to start. As I mentioned at the top of that statement, this is only available to business account users. So I highly recommend opening a business account. It is completely free for you to do so. And once you open up that business account, you will get access to this fun little button here, which is called Pinterest Trends. And it allows you to kind of start to explore. Now, Pinterest is very similar to Etsy, where they'll kind of like release these different like trend edits and give you an idea about what's trending at one specific time. As you see here, they have Pinterest Predicts, which was basically where they reported what they assumed would happen for trends in 2024. It's really fun to come in here now that we are 10 months into the year to kind of see, did they get it right? And I think there are a few things that are super fun to look at on here that I would agree with, absolutely. did take the center light. One being the Western Gothic. This is an area where we saw Western trend super well across Gen Z and boomers. And so this is one that I think that they definitely got right. So one of the pieces that I always recommend taking a look at is utilize what's free to you. This trend report is something that is completely free. And if you look at some of these trends like eclectic grandpa, where we saw more of that vintage aesthetic come back, these are all things that you can take and pull into your own business completely free, and gives you kind of an understanding on the fact that retro streetwear is trending. Let me just take my best performing designs, give them that spin, and see if they trend well into the coming years. So this is something that I will keep my eyes out for 2025. I'll be on here telling you guys when it's out so we can kind of look at these together and do a before and after on what performed well. But I absolutely love looking at these types of things, and definitely something I recommend you do as well. So in addition to that, you can just start to search your region. As you come into Pinterest, you'll be able to see here the different locations that it supports. So something that you can definitely create an account for and look in these different areas if you are located outside of the United States. I'll be referring to mainly the United States today, but you can start to kind of understand which keywords are trending. But even before that, it'll give you kind of a rundown on what is trending in the United States this month. So it'll tell you fall nails, fall outfits, literally me characters, home bedroom refresh, different outfit ideas, different recipes, different wallpaper, different hairstyles. So it gives you a plethora of different things and how those types of things are kind of trending across the space. So that way you just have an idea on what the consumer's mindset is at this point. It'll also break that out into weekly change and monthly change. So you can kind of understand why they're placing them in the top growth recommendations. And it really will go across a bunch of different things. So keep that in mind that not all of these are going to be able to be actioned on. It might be hard to action on fall dinner ideas, but there are certain things that will likely resonate that we can utilize for print on demand. So what I'll do is I'll just come in here and I'm going to start broad and I'm going to type in t-shirt. And what I'm trying to understand is just in general, how has the t-shirts trended? Are we on an uptick? Are we on a downtick? And what's kind of interesting if we look at the last year is that we've kind of just been increasing and increasing. We saw a little downtick coming into October, which leads me to believe that we're probably on a down season for t-shirts. And that's not a surprise because it's gonna get chilly. Still really strong demand, and it'll give you an idea of what are the related trends that are kind of popping off. And so you can add these in to kind of start to see how those look different from a trend perspective. And what I love about this is the fact that the funny shirts, cool shirts and that's kind of subjective, but the funny shirts is one that is definitely an insight that we'll be able to utilize, knowing that this was popular over the last year, has scaled significantly. And if we can replicate this funny t-shirts into crew necks or hoodies or sweatshirts or things that are more warm going into cozy season, we'll likely have success given that the search demand for this item has been high. If you scroll down, it also gives you the age demographics, so you can see who's searching for what, and it goes across females, males. You'll see on here that an outsized proportion of this data is for females, but that kind of aligns with Etsy. So if you are an Etsy seller, the outsized proportion of people shopping on that platform are women. So it kind of gives you a good proxy to what to expect and what we might be able to find actually on Etsy. Now, when it comes to this section, I absolutely love it because it's a visual representation on what they mean by each one of these search terms. And so when I just typed in t-shirt, that's very broad. What's interesting to note here is every single one of these is kind of a vintagey type of feel. You see this old motocross, it's actually, I don't even think a t-shirt, but it's got that Y2K, old motocrossy feel. This one has that bold, color blocked, also gives kind of vintage foreign signage in it. This has this basic vintage-y wash with this just badass dog on the top. And then you see some potentially most likely trademark things, as well as this funny tee that says, I was told there would be free beer. So this off the bat is being like, wow, these are popular and all people are typing in is t-shirt, but the algorithm is spitting out that like this vintage is what is most popular. And I didn't even have to type in vintage tee. You can see with like cool t-shirts, we're seeing a range of different things here. And then for funny t-shirts, we're seeing what they mean by that. And it is this kind of like potentially aggressive tease when it comes to a lobotomy, do not feed hallucinogens to the alligators, and other potentially inappropriate things. But it's giving an idea of like, people are looking for this, and this category of funny tees has scaled the most out of the last year. So if I was launching a new print-on-demand shop, this is an area that I would probably lean into, and to kickstart this like funny haha theme, I would probably utilize this for sweatshirts and crew necks and something that's a little bit more warm. The other thing you can do here is you can basically type in any type of niche. The greatest thing about print on demand is you can create clothing and apparel and homewares and all types of different things associated with all types of different niches. So let's say you're really into cooking, or you're really into Pilates, or you want to create a shop that is based off of the planets. Like you can basically do whatever you want. And so this is a really good way to kind of understand, when do your products spike? When does search trends for what you're interested in and what your shop is based off of trend? So what I've just typed into here is Pilates. And again, not a huge surprise given that Pilates is a fitness activity and that's very new year, new me. But that in itself is an insight to note that we see this significant uptick into the Pilates category the first week of January. So if you're interested in launching a fitness associated brand, now would be the perfect time to start grabbing all of those insights. Maybe you make a vintage Pilates tee, knowing that that's popular and Pilates will be spiking in early 2025, and get your shop ready to go for when the search demand is naturally there. The other thing you can do on the Discover Trends in the United States is you can also give it a list of criteria to kind of understand what are the growing trends in a specific category. So what I'll do is I'll change this to make sure it says growing trends. I'll leave the end date here, and I'll give it specific keywords. Like we just saw, you can type in and you can search. You can add those here and have the system tell you within this category for free, what are the growing trends associated with these search terms on Pinterest. And I typed in t-shirt and sweatshirt, and what it spit out is a list of different things that people are looking at to add to their own pin boards and potentially buy off of Pinterest. So it makes it very clear here that there is mama sweatshirt, there's embroidered sweatshirts, there's Christian sweatshirts, camo sweatshirts, all types of different things that you'll be able to utilize to kind of see, is there something that is emerging here that might make sense for you to incorporate into your own shop? And what's really great is once you see a trend that you're kind of interested in, like perhaps the oversized t-shirt here, you can click into it, and what it will do is it will again give you this chart of what the demand has looked like in the last year. So that way you can understand if this is a growing category or if this is a shrinking category in the last year. And this is one where we can see from an oversized t-shirt, it's definitely been growing since last Q4, but it's kind of trending downwards right now, given that we're moving into a warm season. But very similarly, it will show you which types of t-shirts are included in this type of category, so you can get a perspective on what is popular across the platform. So this is something that I like to look at for fall sweatshirts, for example, to kind of see how this trend should continue over the upcoming months. And this is one where we can see last year, search volume peaked in October. So we're probably coming upon a very similar trajectory here where we will be reaching the peak of this demand for the year, but it shows you all types of different images on how people are showing these potentially print-on-demand shirts on Pinterest, and how you might be able to take your print-on-demand shirts, create mock-ups of your own, and list your own pins that will drive traffic to your own print-on-demand shop on Etsy or Shopify. That's it. That is how I utilize Pinterest trends to find different trends, investigate those trends, and get ideas for what I launch into my own shop. I personally use this method to launch bestsellers. If this video has been helpful whatsoever, please like and subscribe for more content like this.